Hello everyone, Luke here and welcome back to the channel. So, if you've ever been floating through YouTube and come across DIY solar panels, the one that you're most likely going to come across the most is the CD solar panel, or the CD solar cell. But there's a catch to it. It just doesn't work, and there's a load of videos out there debunking the reasons why these don't work. But in today's video, I'm actually going to show you how you can take a CD or a DVD and turn that into something that can generate some actual power. So, let's go downstairs and I'm going to show you what I've put together. So right here is the schematic for our CD antenna scavenger, is what I'm actually going to call it. So as you can see, we've got a CD, it goes into a diode, it goes into a capacitor, and then that goes to the earth or the ground. And of course you can do this in two different ways. You can use a diode, or you can use something called a bridge rectifier. And there we go, that is the second way of actually connecting this CD antenna scavenger up. So right here we got the CD going straight into the bridge rectifier, into the squiggly line, and then on the opposite side, that goes straight into our ground. And then the positives and negatives of our bridge rectifier, the negative will go straight to the negative of the capacitor, and the positive will go straight to the positive of the capacitor. Therefore, when we actually start generating some real energy, it's actually able to charge this capacitor up, proving that it's actually able to dump this real power into the capacitor. So this is the way that I've actually done it, so let's go downstairs and take a look. Okay, so right here is my setup, and I thought I'd show you in real life. So here's my CD coming into my bridge rectifier, and then the squiggly line to this squiggly line goes to my earth, which is the bench, and then my positive and negatives come over to the capacitor. But there's one very important step. With the CD or the DVD, you have to split it, because otherwise you're going to have an insulation coat over your CD and you're not going to be able to connect. So of course there's many videos online showing you how to split these, but how I did it is I chucked it in some water and then I split it from the middle outwards, and I was actually able to get my spoon underneath it and just shoop, and then the entire layer actually come out. Rightio, so I've actually got my pit up on the screen and I've disconnected the capacitor to connect it straight up to the multimeter to see what actually this is going to be producing. So right now it's not doing anything, but when I connect it up, you're going to see a bit of a jump to around 0.9 of a volt, which that's actually pretty cool. But the good thing about this, the higher I start to hold this up, the more voltage that we're actually going to get. That's gone up by about 0.1 of a volt actually, which I do think is pretty cool. But not only that, if you're around a power line and you do this, you're going to get a much higher reading than what I am actually inside of this building. So what we're actually going to do now is connect out to the capacitor to see actually how fast it can charge it up. Right, so the charge in the capacitor right now is 178 millivolts. Now you can see that it's starting to charge quite slowly, but the higher I start to lift this up, you're going to notice that it's going to start charging a little bit more quickly. That is just awesome. That means it's actually putting some real power into that capacitor. I'm just absolutely mind blown. So after around 10 minutes, which was enough time to have a coffee, we've actually managed to charge this capacitor up to around 0.25 of a volt, and that will just continue to charge up as I decide to leave it. And of course, something interesting happens here too. If I hold it up in the air, all of a sudden it starts charging much quicker. I do think that is actually really cool. And there we go, that was absolutely mind-blowing, and like I discussed at the beginning of the video, there's actually two ways that you can connect this up. And as you can see, it's actually being able to store some real power into that capacitor, so I just definitely felt like that was worth actually sharing. But with that being said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions or suggestions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments and I try my best to answer them all. Anyway guys, I hope you have the most fantastic day and I'll see you later.